Chattanooga. Welcome back to this edition of What's Happening in Your Neck of the Woods with your talk show host, Dr. Woods. And yes, you know how we do it here at What's Happening in Your Neck of the Woods. We bring it to you live. We bring you truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And we keep you updated with what's going on in your community. And we are very excited about today because we have a real important man that's sitting right next to me. And I feel so honored to have Mr. DeVon Cooper in the house. You all give it up for Mr. DeVon Cooper. Mr. DeVon Cooper is a mega, I'm going to call him a mega film producer, filmmaker. And he's going to tell you a little bit about his story in just a moment. But I want you all to know that Chattanooga is just filled with so many opportunities. And you don't know about it if you don't have a way to share it and tell everybody about it. And this is one of those things where I met Mr. Cooper through another, I guess you would call it a partner. And they introduced him to me. And I was like, what? We got that going on in Chattanooga. Everybody's going to Atlanta and Hollywood, New York, all these places, because there's nothing here in Chattanooga. And you mean you going to bring it? Oh, my God, y'all. This is so much. I just can't contain it. So let's just dive right into it. Mr. Cooper, first, thank you for coming on to our show, man. We are so honored to have you here today.
I'm honored to be here.
Yes. And so I want you to tell us a little bit about who you are, because everybody's like, who was that man right there? Where you come from?
Yeah.
Tell us where you from. Tell us a little bit about your background, your beginning a little bit, and how you got here all the way to us. We call ourselves little Atlanta, Chattanooga. We try to mimic Atlanta a lot, but I mean, you have had so many opportunities in life, and you've done so much with your life, and you ended up here in Chattanooga. So I want you to start from the beginning and bring us up to today.
I'll make it short. It's not as beautiful as far as demographic, but it's not a big city, but it got so much potential. It has a lot of potential. So I came from a town called Fort Wayne, Indiana. Midwest, up there, and it's flatland, it's a little different down here.
Right.
So I I remember, first time just bringing my kids and going on top of the mountain. It was like eyes wide,
right.
Man, beautiful city. So, I mean, that's, wonderful for a filmmaker, because I'm trying to get all that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't contain myself. Oh,
now we came down, I told my wife, I said, we just want to do something different,
Shout out to the queen. If you're looking and listening, shout out to you. Beautiful queen. Yeah. And thank you for supporting and being there by your husband's side. Because I know behind every strong man, there's got to be a real strong woman. So shout out to your queen.
Yeah, she done pushed out 7 kids with no
epidurals. Wait a minute, y'all hear that? 7 kids. And before we went on the live, the air, I asked him, I said, is there some twins or triplets or something? He said, no, one at a time.
Yeah, she pushed them all out. 5 minutes apiece. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So, wow. Just shout out to you again, girl. Shout out to you.
Yeah. So we came down. We went to Nashville originally, and it was crazy because I was a book author. So like my the company that published me ended up going through like a lawsuit, and it got rough,
wow.
So my sister stayed here in Chattanooga. She and then the pastor that I grew up under, Reverend Tanae Jordan.
He was from India. He went up there. He was in Indiana. And you know what? Let me tell you a little bit about that. His father, Mr. Melvin, a pastor, Reverend Melvin Jordan, he was my first pastor. He baptized me. And I actually, my husband, my children, not my husband now, but my children's father, we were married in that church right there on Chamberlain.
Crazy. Full circle back around.
Right.
Back
around. And I started out with him on Ocoee Street before the church, got burned down. That's why we ended up on Chamberlain Street. But his dad, And I grew up in that church. That's where I learned how to sing and everything.
I remember him leaving town to come and take care of his dad before he passed.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So
Awesome dad.
yeah, amazing man himself,
Yes.
and his kids as well. Stop the Madness actually started where my brother was murdered at,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and well, actually, my brother was murdered afterwards, but that movement was started in Fort Wayne, where Pastor Tene started that when his son was shot.
Yes.
Yeah, so we brought it all down here.
God.
So I done brought my filmmaking down, and he in the same city. It's crazy.
Well, you know
right?
what? If you're under Jordan, I know you got some good background, solid background in the word, and that's number one. You know, you got to put God before anything. So keep on going, because it's getting better every day by the moment.
Yeah, I could back up a little bit more. Marcellus Barnes, who was under him, is man. I mean,
Marcellus Barnes been on this show, and I gotta love
check that
him.
out. Man,
I love
saved
him.
my life.
Oh wow,
saved my life. My brother was murdered. I was doing some rapping. And I was I was always a pretty good young dude. You know, my mom was on this tough, but when you surrounded by certain things, you raised up by, certain people who out there in the streets. It's a part of that.
You become part of your environment.
Absolutely. And Marcellus, he pulled me to the side. He was young himself. He wasn't number 19, probably 18 years old.
Wow.
I'm young. And man, he pulled me, he said, man, I don't even want to hear you rapping about nothing street. None of that. He said, man, you rap about God. And he said, you're going to see your life change.
Wow. Shout out to, I think he's got a church now. He's doing the thing in Chattanooga.
Yeah. And I ain't been to visit it yet.
Shout out. Okay. We coming, Marcelo. We coming. We are coming for you.
I told him I'm coming. Yeah. That man right there, he saved my life. He changed my whole mentality.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yep. So we went to Nashville, and my sister was here. The rest of the family we just mentioned. And we came up here. And, I had shot my first movie in Fort Wayne, horrible film. Because I've been writing since I was like 4 years old, 5 years old,
Wow, we got I'm not going to compare you to Spike Lee, but we got another African-American filmmaker, producer. And I'm telling you, I cannot wait to see this film that you got out that's coming out. But go ahead,
we got like 5
I'm
coming
all
out.
into it right now.
Yeah, we got about 5 coming out.
5 movies?
I shot. My goal was to do, it's been to do 3 movies in 1 year since I got to Chattanooga.
Wow.
7 years ago. And then it was always a hiccup. My dad died right in the middle of me shooting a movie, just different things like that. So this year I shot 2 movies at the exact same time, one in Atlanta and one here in Chattanooga.
Okay.
And I mixed the actors up. I took some of the Chattanooga actors down there, and then I brought some of the Atlanta actors here. So made a little competition who the better actors between Chattanooga and Atlanta. Yeah. But they all dialed in. And I mean, just family.
Awesome, man. That is awesome. So if you all are out there, you're listening to us today, we have a lot of aspiring actors and actresses here in Chattanooga, and they always leaving Chattanooga because there's no opportunity. Well, now guess what, y'all? We have brought the opportunity right here at your doorstep.
Yeah.
And it's in the form of this man right here sitting to my left. And he's going to continue to talk about what he's got going on. But go ahead. So now you're looking at the mountaintop, which you got your kids up there. You're looking down. You see this beautiful landscape and this beautiful topography.
Dang, they killing each other. I'm up here on the mountain, not spending no money, because I got a bunch of kids. I spend $150 at McDonald's. You know what I mean?
7 kids.
Yeah, I'm running into people talking about child support. I said, man, come on, let me talk to you a little bit. Man, you got it easy, boy, but it's rough out there for a lot of dads. So I don't want to say it like that, but
right.
Something, especially a lot of single mothers, so that's a whole other conversation.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful city, and we kind of just settle here. Like, I'm in Atlanta a lot because my business partner, shout out to Kevin Sampler and his wife, just they family to me. So, business people, just amazing, down to earth. And he'd be here right now. Oh no, Atlanta, where is that? You know what I mean? Atlanta, where is that? And
Chattanooga, where is that?
Yeah.
Baby.
And he from Chattanooga originally. Yeah. He went down there real young.
We're gonna bring him on.
He went down there real young, and man, he been down there his whole life. So he a Hawks, and he a Falcons fan. He all down there and that. So, but man, just some of the best people you ever met, and they got my back, and I love that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I'm telling you, I put a casting call out here just a Facebook post, and I got over 3,500 responses.
That's
And
how many people out there starving to get and just dying for that
yeah,
one chance, that one
I
opportunity.
couldn't catch them all, so I said, "Oh, that's it." I told Kev, I called him. I said, "Man, I'm finna go ahead and tell my wife I'm going to build a studio in Chattanooga. I'm gonna build a studio here because man, it hurt me. You know, I got people, man. I just want an opportunity. I just want an
Just an
opportunity.
opportunity.
Couldn't cast everybody. You can't put 3,000 people in a movie.
Wow.
Yeah, so we gonna open a studio before Christmas. So I'll be making sure that information get out to the city.
And you're gonna come back on
Yeah,
because you're gonna be
yeah,
making a big announcement on
yeah,
that grand opening.
yeah.
When that's gonna happen. And we want to definitely WPTP will be in the house. We'll be there.
Yeah.
Live and in person, just giving some live interviews and that kind of thing. So here you settle down in Chattanooga. You got your beautiful wife and your 7 kids.
No doubt.
And how long have you been here?
I've been here 7 years.
7 years.
7 years quietly.
Quietly.
Just moving in
He
silence,
was quiet. He was quiet. But you know what? I've talked about this before, you all. When God is moving
Yeah.
in your life, you have to move strategically. And when you're moving strategically, it requires you to just keep it between you and that close circle around you. And definitely God is the head of everything. And so God can move.
Yeah.
So, and so when you get ready to come out, God has, got you in a position where you're stable.
Right.
And where you've got all your ducks in a row and everything is, pretty much in line and you're ready to go public with it. So I understand about quietly
and
doing your
everything.
thing.
Yeah. And everything that you actually building, it costs something.
Yes.
Whether it's money,
Say that
time,
again.
energy. So
say that again.
If I can get people to understand,
yes,
I got over almost $500,000 invested in business. I don't have that kind of money in my bank account, nowhere near. So you're talking about if people can understand the journey,
yes,
the hard times. You see this rapper got $100 million net worth, and he probably got $3 million in his bank account and struggling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because, I do.
And then if
people know your story, but people know your glory, but they don't know your story.
Man, it's hard.
I definitely understand that being a businesswoman. I do.
And so
yes,
a lot of people had these stories where they've been laughed at. Oh, he don't have a nice car. He don't have that nice house. No, because all that going over here. So you're gonna think when you see it that it's overnight.
Yeah,
it's been years and years of blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I mean? And that's what my wife is really. She's bought into that. The sacrifice, that she's watched me build. She's watched me get played by publishing companies, searching for distributors,
people stealing your ideas,
oh
and
my
then
God,
taking it on to the next level.
Yep.
You're sharing it with them, but you have to be careful who you share your stuff with.
You do.
There's a lot of pirates out there in the music and the movie industry, just in general. People are looking for a way to come up, and they'll steal anything from anybody to do that. So you do have to move quietly. I like that.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the way, you got really wise about that. Some people don't learn.
You get hurt enough.
You get hurt enough, and hurt your pocketbook enough. You'll learn today.
People that you never would think would do it to you.
Right. I
watch people. I watch a mentor of mine open a business that I completely gave him the full everything. He had me be the speaker and everything, and took it from right up under my feet and had it on the news.
You can't trust nobody.
Right in my
God said, "Trust no man." That's what He said. Trust no man. Especially with your idea, because you think about it. There are visionaries, and God give you the vision. Everybody don't have the vision. That's a God-given thing. And when you share that vision before you allow it to come to fruition, you might be giving it away to someone else who God did not bless with that vision. So you do have to allow your vision to come to fruition. And that's what I tell people all the time. I don't talk about what I'm doing, what I've got, where I'm going. And you gotta be careful who you let come to your house, all this stuff. Because Satan is busy. And he's always somewhere lurking and looking around, trying to figure out a way how he could take advantage of somebody or something.
Especially if you're somebody who can really change some stuff.
Say that again.
Yeah. I got that heart to build people up. I really do. And I've been hurt by it, and I can't stop. So as many times I say, even with the networking event we're gonna do in October, I asked several people, man, should I really do this? Because people say, oh, don't do it for this city. I'm like, man, I can't help it.
Yeah, well, God tell you to do something, you go. So that feeling inside. When God tells you to do something, go. It's just like this historical school building. People thought I was crazy. And some people say, you
Mm,
got that building, blah, 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 blah. That's just too much, blah, blah. But God gives certain people a vision to carry out certain things, not for
yeah.
me, and not for you, but for his people.
Right.
There's a dying community here in Chattanooga, but we have so many talented people in music and acting and the arts in general that, man, when you open up that studio and you're gonna have to move off of that street
Yeah, I
because it's
know.
gonna be too little.
Yeah, because
It's
you're
gonna
right.
be too little.
I receive that. It's only 4,000 square feet right now.
Oh, it's gonna be too little.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna have to have some land.
Yeah.
So tell your wife, get ready,
Yeah.
because it's coming. And because
Yeah.
when you think about it, you're here in Chattanooga, and Chattanooga is kind of the central core
Yeah.
of some major cities. We're in the middle of Nashville,
Yeah.
Atlanta,
Yeah.
Knoxville.
And as quiet as it's kept, the opportunity in Atlanta is not what people necessarily think it is. It's a lot of people fighting
Just
for.
saturated,
It's a lot.
oversaturated.
You got a lot of studios down there. You got a lot of people who see it as a way to make money as opposed to being passionate about it. So
Yes,
they're dealing with their circles. You
That's
get
it.
that. So it's a lot of actors in Atlanta that's looking for opportunities.
right.
So they're gonna be coming this way
Oh
fighting
yeah,
for,
they will.
yeah. And so, but that opportunity is gonna be my thing is I don't feel like you should be forced to leave your city for opportunity. So you want to have those options. But like I got right now, like Nia Love, she's in and out of town. I just casted her for the first time in Unsaved,
Wow.
but she's doing modeling events, and I love that. And that's what I try to get, employees and actors to understand. You got to keep building.
Right. You got to
Don't wait for some.
diversify yourself.
Right.
Diversify yourself. I like that. Now, what is the official name of your company?
DeVon Cooper Studios.
DeVon Cooper Studios. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And so you're located, your company, when it opens, it'll be located, your studio, I'm sorry, the
McFarland.
studio is located at 718 McFarland Avenue. And I understand you're doing some major renovation right now. It's going on, getting ready for December. Yeah, getting ready for the December grand opening before Christmas.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, you've got this other event that's coming up, and you all, I'm
Lines
gonna
of
be there.
powerful
You
people.
all got to be there. It's gonna be some powerful people there. And when you come, it's gonna be even more powerful people, because everybody's powerful.
They just don't know it so much.
They don't know it.
Yeah.
So October the 10th, 2023. Tell us about that event.
So Minds of Powerful People is something that I started almost 10 years ago before I came to Tennessee.
Okay.
And it worked in my hometown. So now a good friend of mine, Chuck Surratt, he's a billionaire now, and they've changed the name. They're doing it a little different, but it's working,
Yes.
So the movement was never about me.
Yes.
I could have been a part of that, making money and everything. No, so I had to follow my vision. That was just something that I planted a seed with,
Yes.
So I just want to bring it here and then see, like, when I'm back and forth to Atlanta and here, there's a lot of networking events. And I'm like, man, we don't really have that here.
We sure don't. We try.
Yeah, and it's some
we
here and
try,
there,
but it's got to be of the level that you're putting on with people who can actually, we call them shakers and movers. It's got to be some real shakers and movers, not people that are pretending or wannabes, as we call them. They have to really have power of influence and be able to help people move to the area or to the next step where they're trying to go.
Or be willing to work with some who've been through a little bit more than you,
Absolutely.
And not to say they smarter than you or better than you. It's just that I understand these things that you're great at that I'm not.
That's correct.
That's how you build a great team. So we can all work together. That's my mentality. That's why I reach out to a lot of because you can never have enough networking events.
A little bit about this, because I'm interested. I'm a dentist by trade, and so when we come to this networking event that you're going to host on October the 10th this year, and the address is at 1200 Mountain Creek Road. What's the name of that facility? 1200.
They don't actually have the name over there right now. I'll have you posted later when I find out.
We got flyers and everything. We'll put it out on the website.
Man,
but what can we expect? I show up, and I'm a dentist, and I'm looking around. I'm trying to figure, it's a networking event. What do we do when we get to this event? Like, what are you having? What are people doing? They standing around? Are they passing out cards? Should we bring our cards? Or Oh, they got something new now. We're in the digital age, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just did I was just a keynote speaker last weekend, and we were talking about seasoned women and the younger generation of woman, and what's so great about the younger generation of women.
Seasoned women.
And that this season, we don't like to be called old. For all you younger folk out there, quit calling us old. You get 45 and older, the people supposed to say, hey, old.
If I was single, that's what I look for. SQ, the single queen. I mean, what's it? Seasoned queens.
Seasoned queen, right. So as when in my presentation that I did, and it was an awesome event, and you can go back and watch the event. We've got it up online for everybody to watch. But the one thing that makes the younger generation great, talking about this business card, so I don't get off track, is that everything is digital.
Yeah.
So you owe when you show up for a networking event and you got your business card.
Hey, I accept it. You know what I mean?
So, but no, the younger people have a card that has a QR code on it.
Yeah.
And you just and they just have one. You take your phone,
your camera,
and you take a picture of it. Boom, it's on your phone. They don't do this passing out stuff, right?
I don't think you got to take a picture. It pop up, you click the link.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what the younger generation is doing, and I'm all about it. I want some of that.
It's convenient.
I want some of that convenience, and it shows how every generation is getting that much more. I call it wiser, intelligent. I talked about that too. There's a difference between wise and being smart. Right. Intelligent.
It is. Yeah.
It's a major difference. Wisdom talks to you about or teaches you about life, and intelligence talking about things in general.
Right.
And so, so we're at your event. I'm back to that. We're at this event on October 10th. What can anybody expect? And I know you're not just promoting this for the film acting or the
all
world
entrepreneurs.
All entrepreneurs. So
I was going to do it just for the film industry, and then I was like, no, I can't. So I'm going to eventually branch off.
Okay.
And I'm just going to, I got some acting coaches that I got in mind in Chattanooga. That's doing it's some people that's really doing some good stuff here. And I know them, and they may not know I know them. Yeah. So
you do your research.
Yeah. I follow anybody who do movies and stuff in Chattanooga. I follow them. Yeah, I'm paying attention, but it's all about the movement. So I got a couple people in Atlanta who we got in mind to come up and do like acting classes and stuff.
Okay.
I'm gonna show people how to produce. I wanna create new producers. So if you got 10 and 15 known producers that are putting a movie out, now that 3,500 people have several movies to audition for.
Oh, wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I am really loving this.
Yeah.
So you're talking about producing job opportunities too, or career opportunities for people in the movie industry by branching out. Now that, when God says, share what I give you and it'll come back to you tenfold, you're sharing your wisdom and all the knowledge that you have and passing it on to other people. And that's going to breed even more actors, more opportunities for people.
And the biggest thing about it is we got distribution. We got distributing partners now, so
that's big. Did y'all hear him? Hold on, let me back it up. Going too fast. This man has distributors that have sowed seeds into him, so that must mean he bad to the bone. So that means you bad to the bone. That means you're bad to the bone. Come on, that means you're bad to the bone. So what does it take to get a distributor to pay attention to you? What did you do special? We want to know.
Just be consistent and kind of put a team around you. The first distributor that I ever had a conversation with years ago, it didn't work out. They just were doing like different sales through like Walmart and stuff like that. And I was just kind of looking more like modern day, like digital,
Right.
I knew we was kind of phasing out of DVD and stuff like that. And the one we just actually signed a partnership with, Man Robinson, my business partner, Kevin, actually ran into them first. So building your team is important.
Yeah, because they can reach out to people. You got more tentacles. Tentacles. I like that.
And he bumped into him. Trial by Fire come from my kid's coach. He got a friend in New Orleans who I ended up having a conversation with him. I ended up going to support his movie. And then his distributor was Tony Dungy's nephew, who was a coach for the Indianapolis Colts. So then it's like, now you have a conversation with them. And it's like, dude, I remember him from football. And you know what I mean? And so, so now you're in conversation with, I got like 3 or 4 distributors. And Man Robinson alone got like 30 networks they deal with, from like VH1 to BET to Tubi to everybody, And people laugh at Tubi, but they are the #1 paying.
got Tubi on my screen.
They the number
I
one
got the smart
paying
TV and
network in the world right now.
They do. It's their number one.
Yes, they're paying more than Netflix and everybody.
Oh, kidding me.
Yes. So you laughing at those filmmakers and they getting paid. Yeah, they getting paid.
Oh,
those actors are getting
wow.
checks. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
man, this is blowing my mind.
Now you might, of course, Netflix might pay Kevin Hart more than they may pay me because of the name and the brand behind them. But independently, Tubi is number one.
Number one.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? This is, I'm gonna have to just take a moment here for a second, because I don't think the listening audience understands the magnitude of what's happening right now.
I can take these new film producers right to a distributor. They ain't gonna have to put the work in that I put in. I could take them straight to them. In 3 and 4 months, your movie can be released on a major platform.
Okay, so
I wish somebody did that for me.
Wow. So, but you know what? It's all about laying the foundation. How many of us are successful on the shoulders of other people? They did all the hard work to make it easy for us to just walk in. Somebody has to pay the price.
Man.
And when you pay the price, of course, you're our hero. Why? Because we didn't have to do all of that. You did it for us. And we thank, and you're going to be blessed even more because of that. You're going to be blessed even more. No, and you're already blessed. Why are you already blessed? Because number one, you're on the number one. I like to say we're the number one African-American owned radio station in Hamilton County. Because why? Because we bring African-Americans, entrepreneurs, and any other group of people that want to come on. They can't get on to the big stations, but they come on here.
You ain't got a round of applause, clap on there.
Yeah, let's give it a round of applause.
Yeah, that's good. I appreciate you for having me.
Yes, here. And the wonderful thing about WPTP radio is that, and I tell people this all the time. Yes, we're local. You could get in your car and turn on 100.1 FM, but most people listen to their favorite radio station broadcast. They're doing their Bluetooth stuff. Yeah. So you can go to our website. We're national and international at WPTP.
On Facebook, you got social media.
1001fm.com. You can go to we have our YouTube channel, and we're on Twitter and Instagram, and we have a website. So there are so many ways in the digital world, which is where we are now. We've kind of came off of analog. We're now in the digital world and technology, and WPTP is on the cutting edge of technology, which allows us to be able to do this show. For example, we're recording every show, and it stays in our library. Anytime you want to go back and watch Mr. DeVon Cooper on this show, they can just type in your name on one of our social media platforms, and boom, you pop up, and they can watch it. They can watch it next year. They can watch it tomorrow, this evening, and you can share. If you like a particular show, you can share that with all of your friends, and they can watch it whenever. So if you miss us live, it's no problem. You can get us when we're done and just go pull it back up. That's what makes our radio station unique. And that's what's going to make this station right here, I think, number one.
Right. I agree with you.
Number one, not just with African-American people, but with all people.
Right.
And that's where I come from. I believe in diversity. I believe diversity is the answer to every problem that you have in any industry, because I don't see things the way you see things, because I'm a woman, you're a man. You don't see things the way Michael sees things because you're a black male, he's a white male, so on and so forth. So we all can bring our resources and our different lenses, the way we see things, to the table and come up with some incredible stuff.
Right.
And so that's what I think about you.
I appreciate that.
You have seen so much. You have an enormous amount of wealth of knowledge that you can bring, and you have set the foundation for so many people to be able to come in and just go almost straight to where they want to go without all the rigmarole.
Yeah.
You said you put in over $500,000 into getting here.
Over the years, yeah.
Somebody else, they don't have to do that because it's already, the foundation is already built, and you are in Chattanooga.
Yeah. You got
You're
3
right
or 4.
Here.
Started off with like 2 or 3 movies, horrible productions, paying actors, just spending money, not making the money back.
But you got the experience.
You got the experience. Yeah.
That's wisdom.
Got better and better.
That's what I was telling
Yeah.
them at my presentation last week. You can have the knowledge. You can go to school, get the degrees. I got many of those. Go to school. But the wisdom, like say my father had that only had an 8th grade education. He was so wise. He could outthink me anytime with all the degrees that I got, because life is where it's at. That life experience will propel you to greater heights. And
So
those
he
degrees
graduated.
can kind of help.
He went to the School of Hard Knocks.
There you go.
Yeah.
He knocked his head up against the wall,
Yeah.
and that was a lesson.
Yeah.
He knocked his head against the wall again. That was another lesson.
For
So,
real.
you know,
Yeah.
so life lessons prepare you to navigate through life. And so that's why you have some wealthy folk that have not went to college, but they got their wisdom.
Yeah.
And that experience.
But it's taught, you know, my mother always taught us, you know, trials and tribulations come to make you stronger.
Yes, it does.
You know, so even when family don't see eye to eye, I got a vision, I've been building something, I got a lot to lose. So, you know, you're going to go through some adversity. I got 7 kids I'm trying to raise. I've got 5 boys that I'm trying to make men,
yes.
You know? And so, you know, me and my mom go back and forth. That's my queen, you know, and she has this love for her grandkids that I'm like, I'm a dad, though. Yeah. I got to do things this way. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so you go through things to build you up. You know, you if you don't have adversity, and I'm teaching my kids that now, yes. You know, you can get hyped up in sports. You can go, but what happens when you break a leg? What happens when you know, something bad happened and
your health in general goes down? What you gonna do?
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
You have to expect adversity, and how you gonna adjust.
How you gonna adjust?
You know, and that's what DeVon is teaching kids.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's something else I learned about you. So you know, Coach Prime.
Yes, I do.
And I mean, I know this is about you today, but tell me a little bit about that interaction with him. Just a little snippet of that for our audience.
Man, Deion Sanders is one of the most. First, I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana, so a Hall of Famer named Rod Woodson played with Deion, and so we would always go to his camps, you know. And Deion Sanders is Deion Sanders is actually going to commit suicide. My sports agent, Eugene Parker, actually saved his life. Wow. I'm sure you can find that story. I mean, he talked about it here and there, but man, he and I'm going to something else with that too. Like I said, Deion is just amazing. You see, he had to bring his mama into the locker room.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I raised my baby right. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, because people don't understand. You know, even when he went to like the HBCU.
Yes.
You know, sometimes you go plant a seed somewhere, then you have to move on. But he opened those doors for other coaches.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
I mean, and you know, his son is like building like a Deion Jr. See, we see the two that's playing, but Deion Jr. is actually broadcasting this stuff. Yeah, he's a cameraman.
Oh, wow.
So you know, man,
you talk about family, man. That's
this
awesome.
man sit and cry tears with young men. Like he don't play about God. He don't play about
life.
Sure
don't. Every time he speaks, he Lord is in it somewhere.
Yeah. So it's more to football with him. But you know, in all things you do, you put God first. That's what you learn from guys like that.
Amen.
You know,
you know how I feel about that.
Yeah. He's a visionary, and you can't tell me how to live the vision that God gave me.
That's right.
You can't. Yeah. So that's him.
And when you know that God has his hand on your life and he's guiding your path and giving you the light of which way to go, can't nobody touch that. Can't nobody touch that. And when you got a personal relationship with God, can't nobody deter you from doing the things that God wants you to do. Because you walk with him every day. You talk with him every day. He's more than just your God. You know, he's your left and your right. He's your front and your back. He's your center. Everything that you do is got God wrote all over it. How do you move away from that? Because if you were to try to move away from that, he's going to pull you right back to the center. How's he pull you back to the center? We have life instances where we bump our head, right?
Yeah.
He going to bring us back. If he loves you, he chastens you. So, and I've had all types of, life bumps and humps in the road. But I know that those bumps and humps in the road was because God wanted me. He wanted me. He didn't want me over there. He wanted me over here.
Right.
So he put some stumbling blocks sometimes to guide you back and get you back in line, And so now I know. I say, God, I yield. Whatever you want me to do, wherever you want me to go, whoever you want me to touch, whatever you want me to do, I give myself to you. Use me, Lord.
But look at this full conversation you just gave about it. I mean, it's not even that easy for you sometimes.
No, it's
You know,
not. I had people know I had a life crisis,
Yeah.
health crisis, and I was laying in the hospital bed, didn't know if I was gonna make it and go back into dentistry. And I was thinking, I started feeling my hands and started wiggling my toes and moving my head because I'm thinking, I'm a surgeon. I can't lose my ability to hold that scalpel and that hand piece and cut with precision if I come out of this hospital
Right.
and I'm paralyzed. And so God wanted me to know, you're mine.
That's funny. I never thought about a dentist do surgery.
Yeah, you're mine.
Y'all do surgery, actual
We
surgery.
do surgery. That's why my degree is doctor of dental surgery.
Wow.
Every single day, and so if you lose that ability and that's all what you gonna do?
Like an athlete.
Yeah, what you gonna do? You better
Yeah.
Look, there's a lesson in today's broadcast, and that lesson is diversify yourself, because Mr. Cooper also had another career, in football, professional football.
Yeah.
And
it didn't happen.
But look, he's diversified. And actually, this is his passion, what he's doing now, because he's been doing it since he was 4. So, sometimes what you want to do isn't really what God wants you to do.
Never thought I'd actually really produce a film.
Yeah, produce.
Just as writing as a kid.
Yeah, just writing.
Yeah.
And he's producing. And this is gonna be, I like I told Mr. Allgood, Jimmy Allgood, when he came on my radio show for the first time.
Award-winning singer.
Award-winning, international, national award-winning singer.
I'll be at his event tonight.
Yeah. And guess what? When he walked in here, he didn't have all of that. He had been to the top. He had been to the mountaintop, but he wasn't there. And he was getting himself in line to go back there again. He's just one of the most talented singers. And he sat right there in that chair where you're sitting. And I said, Jimmy, God is about to move in your life. You can go back and find the video. I said, I don't know when it's going to happen, but because you walked in this building is sitting on holy land. This building is God's building. And because you walked in that door, God is going to move in miraculous ways in your life. I don't know when, but it's going to happen to you. No sooner as he got out that door, it wasn't even a week or two later, he got his first signing. And he came back in. He said, I got my first signing. And I'm, so we did a record release. Yes. And then boom, he gets nominated for this ICE award, and he takes home 2 major awards out of the 3 categories he was nominated in. And now he's picking up all kinds of being published in magazines and asking folks to, to go on with them with songs, duets, and writing music and all this stuff. He's just gone. I'm telling you, when God gets ready to move in your life, he's going to move. And I say to you, Mr. Cooper, today, because you walked in that door and sat in this building that's on holy land, that God is going to move in a miraculous way in your life with this filmmaking industry that you have put together, and it's going to blow everybody's mind.
Oh, I received
It's going to blow everybody's mind. Why? Because he says, wherever 2 or more gathered in his name, and we here in his name right now.
Present. Yeah.
We here in his presence, that he will be there also. And if you've got the faith the size of a mustard seed, and I know yours is big as a watermelon, you got the faith the size of a mustard seed. He said he'll give you the desires of your heart. And so I declare today, in the name of Jesus, that God anoints you with everything you need, that he put the right people around you. He give you the right resources, that he protect you and your family, and he allow you to move in a mighty way for his people in this industry, and that you'll give him the glory in the end for all the blessings that you're about to receive. You're about to receive a huge blessing. Number one, I noticed his spirit. I noticed his spirit when I first met him. Now, we've talked on the phone, but when I saw him for the first time today in person, I noticed his spirit and I noticed his mannerism. And I said, this man is a man of God. I don't know where he's been.
That.
I don't know what he's been through. And I don't know where he is in his relationship with God. But I know that whatever experiences that he's had, it has brought him closer to God, because I see the humble spirit in him. And one spirit to another, I can feel it. I can feel the spirit. So I know I can discern that. I can discern that. And none of us are perfect. I'm not saying that he's perfect, nor that I'm perfect. But the Lord said, test the spirit by the spirit. And if it comes back the way you threw it out, then that's real. If it don't come back right, go the other way. That ain't real.
Can I say this?
Yes.
You asked about the event on October 10th.
Yes.
I think the main thing, you want people to be comfortable within their own skin.
Yes.
Because if you just have everything that I'm doing, even when it was sports, or if it was writing a book, or putting together a new business, when I was selling candy bars being laughed at before it turned into a vending machine company.
Wow.
Like, man, you supposed to be playing football. What you doing selling Snickers out the back of your car?
Wow.
But I was selling that company a year later, starting the locksmith company, and I just kept building up. But everything starts with an idea, or first a seed from God. So I don't want somebody at home to feel like they haven't accomplished nothing, or they haven't done enough to come out to a networking event. I know it says $15, but I don't want everybody just walking in there. I want you to be able to invest into yourself. $15 to have access. It's going to be some adult beverages for people to relax, a little bit. It's going to be a little music. We're going to branch off. It's going to be it's going to be realtors there. It's going to be dentists there. It's going to be different type of, different genres.
Right.
And, some people just may have an idea, not sure what they want to do. I don't want you to be afraid to step out of your comfort zone.
Right.
Come and be, just come out, man, and enjoy yourself, man, and just get comfortable with, telling people what you want to do, or just telling people what you aspire to do.
Yes.
You never know who you might run into.
You got that right. Bring your QR cards for this new generation with all your information about who you are, how they can reach out to you, and some of the experiences that you have, because you may, of course, Mr. Cooper's going to be there. You may want to give him your information. He's got his own.
It's going to be actors there.
Yes, he's a filmmaker, film producer. He's got 2 or 3 movies that we can talk about. So let's get on to that. The movies that are coming out this year, right?
Yeah, they'll be out. So once they're in the distributor hands, they gonna come up with the release date.
With
the network. So I hadn't got a release date specifically on Internet Host and Fractured.
Oh yeah, tell us a little bit about it.
So
can you talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about these movies. Let's give us some pub.
So Internet Host is and we're gonna talk about these individually as they release, but Internet Host is something that I did that was a bit me, because I'm silly, I'm silly. So it was like
have you heard about the new serial killer?
Oh, yeah, I got it there. It's like a comedy horror.
Comedy horror?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's funny, but it's horror.
Yeah, it's a bunch of, they say black people get killed quick. So, so this movie was really fun, because what's crazy is I got a sister there. That's my biological sister right there by the door. It's crazy. I got actors. It was real fun shooting that one. We shot that in Atlanta. Yeah, look at that. So we trapped in the house. The doctors actually went out and was on vacation, and they got trapped in the house with silly people like me, who you don't expect to save your life. Yeah.
Anyway, that sounds like that's gonna be fun. Don't that look like y'all living room in a way, like just regular around the town folks?
Yeah.
And that I'm gonna really like that one.
Yeah, it's funny as heck. And then we did Fractured Not Broken, and that was completely different. So that's my thing. Diversity. I'm a writer. I like to write about all different things. I don't want nothing to be the same, So we did Fractured Not Broken. And that was about a record executive. He's actually a good man, going through a divorce with his wife. She's trying to get half of that money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she won't half of that money. Yeah, she want to share with a new man. So, you know,
I love it.
so that's a film right there that's gonna spark a lot of conversation. And I play her brother, and I'm
Ah.
not taking her side necessarily,
Oh.
but I'm, I'm a little nuts,
Oh.
so
Okay. You look cray to move.
I mean, he just out there, he kind of relates to where a lot of where I started at, you know what I mean? Where you see a
Uh-huh.
lot of struggle, and he just, his mom and dad are dead and gone, so his sister is all he has, but um, his his sister is just kind of like don't know what she want out of life right now. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And so he feel like, man, don't divorce him. Like that's my meal ticket, you know?
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
What you doing, sis?
Yeah. Yeah, don't leave him,
Yeah.
So, it's of course it got some funny parts to it, but man, I mean, we got a lot of good films coming, different cast, crew.
And that one's called what? The second one?
Fractured, Not Broken.
Fractured, Not Broken.
Yeah, so it's going to like having faith. You fractured, but it ain't broken. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Yeah. We've been down, but we ain't through, So then you got so we just shot the 2 movies at the same time, one in Chattanooga and one in Atlanta.
Oh, which one was shot in Chattanooga?
So those 2 movies were shot before this, but the one shot in Unsaved. So that's about
Unsaved.
Yes, it's called Unsaved. It's about this pastor getting in the car with a guy who starts a business, and he tall, a big old 7 foot. He like your boy over there on the he big like him.
My engineer about 8 feet tall over
here. But he get bullied a lot. So somebody bullied him into doing something that he didn't want to do. That's kind of talking about like the what we used to call like peer pressure.
Yeah.
And somebody got hurt. So then it comes back to haunt. It comes back to haunt him a little later on. He started going through some stuff. So I don't want to tell the story, but that's gonna be a good one. But it got a lot to do. It's some Bible scriptures in there.
That's gonna be fun. So all you Bible scholars and folks that love the Lord, pastors and members of the churches, you know what? What's the name of that one called?
That one called Unsaved. Now it ain't just no straight preaching, but it's
got some context.
It's gonna have a lot of message in it, and it's got a lot of comedy in it as well. So a lot of the young people who may not be into church, they're gonna love watching it. They're gonna be like, dang, that make a lot of sense. It's gonna kind of sneak a little bit of that in there, you know what I mean? So yeah, and then we Forever Tied. So I play a character who was born into the CIA. And he's been in every branch of the military. He's never met his mother and father. So his mentor tells him, you need to, he feels that he was trained to kill and to die. But his mentor tells him, man, anybody can just die with that mentality. But how would you feel about that if you actually lived a real life? So he go out in the real world, and now he experienced being a father. And now he's getting called back to go fight. And now you got to make the decision when you got somebody you love. So
that sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
And that one's called what?
That one called Forever Tied.
Forever Tied. Wow.
Yeah.
Woo, I got chills on my body. I just cannot wait. I'm already excited, man.
Yeah, we're gonna do some premieres. I'm trying to figure out how to do them because I ended up accomplishing that goal and shot so many movies in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, which one do I do the red carpet for? First.
Yes.
So
we're gonna have to get you introduced to some people in this community that make things happen.
Oh, that's
and
good.
that
I
can
appreciate
set
that.
up so your premiere can be shot in an area where everybody can come and it's big enough to hold a space and get this. We're gonna talk off the air about how we can make that happen.
We want to do it right.
Yes. I am very, very excited about this, man. This is Chattanooga. We're on the move. I'm telling you.
Chattanooga stand up.
Chattanooga stand
it's home.
up.
It's home now.
Yeah, we got some.
Oh yeah, and Katina. Oh hey, Katina. Katina played in Forever Tied. That was her first movie, and a very spiritual woman.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's
Katina,
cool.
How you doing? I see you down there. She says he's a genius.
I appreciate that. I don't know about that, but I appreciate it.
Katina, I think you're right. I've been around long enough. I'm a seasoned woman. Don't call me old. I'm seasoned, and I can tell from his conversation and from the things that he's done that he has some wisdom from God, and that with that wisdom from God, he's going to propel to greater heights, and he's going to be blessed in so many ways that he probably just won't even have enough room to receive it. That's
Man.
what I'm thinking. And I can just see it pouring out from heaven.
Well, I accept that.
And flowing. You know, he's up on the mountaintop, just flowing from the top of the mountain. Lookout Mountain, you on Lookout Mountain, right? He lives on Lookout Mountain, and they're just flowing down.
Well, I live in the valley. I live in Lookout Valley.
You Lookout Valley,
at the bottom
okay.
of the mountain. Yeah.
And just flowing throughout the whole entire city of Chattanooga and blessing this community. Again, we've had some great folk from Chattanooga, Usher Raymond,
Legend.
Yeah, a
Legend.
living Samuel L. Jackson, now Jimmy Allgood.
I was supposed to meet Samuel.
Yeah,
So we
his
talked.
auntie that raised him when she passed away, because she was a sorority sister of mine.
Is that
Shout
not
out
his
to
mother?
Alpha Kappa
That's not his
Alpha.
mom?
Well, the one that passed away, he came back for the funeral. We had an Ivy on the wall.
Okay.
Funeral. It's a private funeral. You know, they had the regular one, but then the private Ivy behind the wall ceremony is just for sorority sisters.
Yeah.
And I had an opportunity. He sat right next to me, and you know, I'm trying to be all cool, right? I'm sitting next to Samuel. Yeah,
legend,
I'm all cool, and you know, he
Ooh.
got his little leather jacket on, and his little blue jeans, and his little I call it apple hat that he wear, and he's sitting there cracking jokes at the table and everything. I'm like, man, I want his autograph, but now that wouldn't be cool. I'm saying this in my head. I'm not saying it out loud. Oh, if I could just get his autograph, but no, that won't be cool. That'll be so tacky.
I think Bear went to school with him.
Yeah,
at my barbershop. Yeah,
yes, and I just, you know, as you get a little bit more mature and wiser, with that comes a little bit of etiquette too. You know, he was here to bury his auntie,
man,
and you know, he didn't want that Hollywood. I know, just because God put the wisdom there. Don't mess with him about no autograph. He don't want to sign no autograph.
Man, I was just gonna say,
don't talk to him about no movies and stuff.
Yeah,
he's here on a personal, family situation.
He is he about business.
Yes,
and I appreciated that, because I'm gonna give you a little short story. I talked to his I don't know if this is his manager or whatever. So I was talking through one of my buddies in town who actually was taking care of his auntie or his mother before she passed. And I have a non-traditional film festival I want to bring here as well.
Oh, awesome.
I don't feel like the film festivals really do anything for filmmakers. You know what I mean? It's really just a major networking event. So people ask me, man, how do you feel about the strikes, and how you feel about, I'm like, look, man, all of this stuff is, well, the strikes are a different conversation, but the film festivals are more so major networking events, as opposed to being something that creates opportunity. It's like, I tell people, if you're an athlete and you in high school, you go to a camp or a combine, you want college coaches to actually be there. It's the same thing with filmmaking.
You want filmmakers to be there.
I done put all this money and wrote and casted people and made this movie. I want Lionsgate to be there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And so, and I don't want to sit around and show my movie to my family who's already going to see it. You know what I mean? You kind of want to create an environment where everybody can see where they can support your film, and y'all can support each other.
Yes.
So Samuel we was in conversation with him coming up, from him being, it was like the modern day filmmaker meets with legendary Samuel L. Jackson. And the first thing he said was, don't put my name on the flyer. And then I thought about it overnight, and I was like, I get what he's doing. He don't want people to come for fame and show.
Right.
He wanted people to come for what it was, and then the ones who were serious, they would see him. So I pulled out. We didn't finish the conversation because he had so much stuff coming up with Marvel. So it's something that still can happen. But I just kind of let the conversation, I didn't reach back out about it. I think that's definitely something we want to do. But he a busy man. But I mean, he did not want his name on a flyer or none of that. And I understand exactly why.
And then another thing too, when you are a certain level, and I know I only have 3 minutes left, when you're on a certain level, like he is and others, people produce flyers and things that are not indicative of your character and how you want to present yourself. So if I'm not producing my own flyer and it's got my name on it and I'm at a certain level, please don't do a flyer for me. If you do a flyer for me, because you might can't spell, you might have things that's supposed to be capitalized, not capitalized, I want to look over that flyer to make sure it represents who I am.
Your brand
So
is
you don't want
everything.
people just being able to use your name on flyers and putting your name all over stuff, and then they are doing something that goes against your principles or goes against what you stand for. And I understand that. And in that situation, he didn't want people coming because they think, oh, I'm going to get to see
Right.
Samuel L. Jackson. He didn't want that.
Dame Dash
And
coming
exactly.
October 13th.
Yes,
You
yes.
know.
So, man, talk anything else in this last couple of minutes that we've got left. Tell us whatever you want the listening audience to know. What you want us to do for you. What can we do for you? What can the city and the county help you to do? Because I pick up the phone, right? And we can make it happen, right?
Yeah.
So you just lean into that camera and you tell the people what they can do, what you're looking for. And the city of Chattanooga, we need to embrace you. This county and the city needs to embrace you for the good of the city and for the good of the county and the people that we serve. Tell us.
I appreciate it. I say, in short, not just for me, but for my entire generation. And you keep saying seasoned, but you just a queen. You know what I mean? We're gonna leave it at that.
All right. I'll accept
that. Whenever we putting stuff out there, we marketing events or we putting movies out there, just support each other, because that's what they say about Chattanooga. This is nationwide, though. People don't realize. Everywhere I go is a celebrity that the city can't stand because he didn't do something for them or she didn't do something for them. But they really are doing something for you, because inspiration actually is the best thing that anybody can do for you, get you up to believe in yourself.
Yes.
So my thing is, what you're doing for me is what you can do for yourself. Get up and just go after it. You see, we having a networking event. If there's anything that I can do to help anybody, especially if you're in the film industry in any way, shape, or form, if you modeling, entertainment business, period, come out. Don't be afraid. Don't be worrying about no money, none of that. Just get in a room with people who have like minds.
Yes.
If you have other networking events, let's partner. Let's do something great for people.
Yes.
And share all this stuff. The city should know about this stuff. I'm sure it's things in the city I don't know about.
Right.
But we should know about it.
We're going to put that on the city calendar. I don't know if you know about it, but the city has a calendar of events. And we need to make this particular event part of the city calendar. See, that way it gets put out there. And make sure that it gets on all of the other, I say hashtags or all the media blitz that the city has. And so we're going to reach out to some important people next week, you and I. And I'm going to introduce you to some people, and then you can take it from there. Once I introduce you, you got it. You don't need me at that point. But
I'm always need you.
But I mean, to carry on the conversation about what you're doing, I just need to make the connection for you. Like someone made the connection for you with me.
Right. That's right.
Today. So it's all about networking and making the connections for people. And then you go on about your business for the most part, unless they need you after that.
And that's what we're about at the event, is building relationships. Yes. Networking is just the first part.
Yes, it is.
But when you build trust,
that's it.
And that's one thing with me, I never had an issue with, people trust me, and what you see is what you get.
That's it.
And I mean, I think if we can get that in a lot of our people, especially like on the South Side where they say it's supposed to be bad, a lot of them, because of appearance, people assume that they are less than, but a lot of them is just, if you dress them up different, show them some different resources, man, you'll be amazed to see how many people. I got actors right now who been on drugs and everything. Wow. So, they may not be this superstar yet, but their life is heading in the right direction.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I always tell people when I did my movies, when I first started off, my conversation with a distributor is, if I can do this much with $20,000, imagine what I do with your 20 million.
Come on, speak it.
You know what I mean?
Speak it. I'm telling you. I said it is, yes. Okay. So, y'all, this concludes our show. Man, I wish we had another 30 minutes.
It's all good.
This concludes, but it's not the end. So I want you all to continue to watch and listen to WPTP every Saturday at 1:00 p.m.
Tune in.
Yes, tune in. And, it's Saturday. So tomorrow is Sunday, which means how I end my show. Find you a church to go to so you can give the Lord praise and thank him for all the blessings that he has given to you. And if you don't have a church home, you're always welcome to my church, which tomorrow is Friends and Family Day.
I'm visiting.
Yeah. We want you all. If you're my friend and you're my family, you're invited to come out. to Greater Emmanuel Apostolic Church located at 400 Tunnel Boulevard, where Pastor Paul Warfield Jr. is our pastor.